These are the images of a nation self-destructing. In Zimbabwe, hundreds of thousands have had their homes destroyed. Millions have lost their livelihoods. A country has been traumatised. It's all part of a bizarre national clean-up campaign centred on demolishing Zimbabwe's vast slums. And this is the man who sent in the bulldozers. Zimbabwe's President, Robert Mugabe. Once lauded as a freedom fighter, to many he's now a tyrant. And he's smashing his country to pieces to secure his political future by destroying the power base of his opponents here in the slums.
Yes, there is discomfort now, but discomfort in order to get comfort later.
My name is Jay Jay Sibanda, and I'm in exile, Zimbabwean exile in South Africa. I left my family in 2001. I was a political activist.
Jay Jay Sibanda is heading home. He's decided to risk his life to tell the world about his country's plight.
They might take me in, arrest me, and perhaps detain me without even charges. Or alternatively, they might even murder me. They will torture me, definitely. But when I'm prepared for that, there's always going to be some sacrifice for us to regain our freedom. And as Nelson Mandela said before, freedom does not come easy. I'm embarking on a serious journey home. I'm going to meet my parents. I'm going to meet my family. Guide me, Lord. Bless them and bless me. The success and the failure of my mission rests in your hands.
Jay Jay is one of at least 2 million Zimbabweans who've fled to South Africa. Like many exiles, he's a member of an underground network working to topple Mugabe.
It's the camera I'm giving you.
And he's agreed to take a camera across the border for us to record what's happening.
So you open it here and you push that out fully and then this will pop up. You need to push that.
Something has got to be done and someone has to do it.
And then close it.
But who is the question? People are scared to move into Zimbabwe.
Midnight, and we're in a township near Messina. This is where the exiles come when they need help crossing the border. And tonight we're here to see if Jay Jay can cross safely tomorrow. He's a marked man in Zimbabwe and will have to cross the border illegally. It's a high-risk strategy. Jay Jay's been caught before and tortured. So he needs to buy some reliable friends to bypass the border guards and the barbed wire. Messina is the closest South African town to the border, and it's here that Zimbabweans come to escape the demolition gangs and to pick up supplies that they can't get in their own country. It's also here that Jay Jay will start his dangerous journey. But along with the risks, there are rewards. A rare opportunity to see his family on the other side of the wire.
So you're feeling nervous, but are you looking forward to seeing your family now?
Well, obviously, especially my little young daughter, the 7-year-old one. You know, we are in love, and I know she really misses me.
With the right people paid off, Jay Jay climbs the fence and enters Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's capital, Harare, once one of the most prosperous cities in Africa. It's the starting point for New Zealand's controversial cricket tour, underway against the wishes of the New Zealand government. So while Jay Jay is entering the country secretly, I've come the official route as a sports journalist, ostensibly to cover the cricket. This is the image of Zimbabwe that Robert Mugabe wants the world to see. And journalists are closely watched so that they keep their cameras on the game. But it's a surreal scene when just a few blocks away, downtown Harare has been flattened by bulldozers.
Munombroko takaputsirwa tiri kugara panze tine vana ndane 2 months ndichirara ipapa uyu mukoma wangu tese tirora mbedha 1 navarume vedu 2
kutaura chokwadi zvakaitwa nerumende ndo wato musha wangu iwowo ndotomuka muno ndichobva kubasa ndichienda kubasa wana uri kurara pasi pamuri kuona ipapapa.
Having entered the country safely, Jay Jay's walked right into the middle of Mugabe's Operation Restore Order. Since May, its official purpose has been to remove illegal structures and to crack down on crime. But it might be better named Operation Wreak Havoc. It's left millions without homes.
I think the situation is getting worse by the day. Zimbabweans are living like refugees in their own land. And it's pathetic. The international community has watched this for too long. And there's nothing in sight that this crisis is going to come to an end.
In Zimbabwe, filming secretly like this can get you jailed for up to 2 years. The government has also just passed a new law with a 20-year jail sentence for critical media coverage. But a team of underground filmmakers has sprung up to get pictures like these out to the world. And Jay Jay has joined their ranks.
There we go, this is the camp as you can see. And this is in Mbare, in Harare. These people had their homes destroyed.
Jay Jay's footage shows the bitter aftermath of Operation Restore Order.
This man is already preparing to cook. He's got his bed outside and there he's made some fire. The man is now preparing supper for his family.
Mugabe's clean-up campaign has made a mess of his people's lives.
This camp, small as it is, hosts about 250 people sleeping in these shacks out in the cold, in the very chilly winters of Zimbabwe.
It's the same all over Zimbabwe. People who once had homes now have only what they salvaged from the bulldozers. Many no longer have a roof over their heads. Most are still dazed, confused and afraid.
We are just seated like this, struggling.
Why are you seated here?
We've got nowhere to go.
What do you mean you've got nowhere to go? What happened to where you were staying?
Yeah, the local government and the government itself, they demolished our working places. So now we haven't found an alternative place.
They just came, they didn't give us a money.
How has it affected your family?
It affected a lot because by now we don't have sources to get money. Can't get money anyway.
They are now pushing their cart for almost a distance now of 30 kilometers.
Operation Restore Order is interpreted by critics like Jay Jay as a bid to stave off rebellion.
The focal point is to destabilise the opposition strongholds. They're trying to get rid of the electorate in the cities into the rural areas, where it is easy to manipulate or even abuse them, and they will be fed with propaganda.
Apart from the cricket, this is my only opportunity to film openly, propaganda parading as patriotism. This is Zimbabwe's Heroes Day to commemorate those killed in the struggle for independence. And as you can see, thousands have turned out to mark the occasion, including the President. Sikambuzo Nguni's husband was kidnapped and killed 4 years ago. And yet she's here today thanking the government for supporting her family since his death.
It's a bit difficult, but the government chips in. Yeah, the government is a great help. We've got allowances and school fees for the children, and the uniforms allowances every year. Yeah, that's what helps me.
Someone is telling liars outside. I like Mugabe. I like Mugabe. It's my president.
But if you look closely at this crowd, you'll see that it's mostly made up of soldiers and police. And it's likely that any others came out of fear.
If you don't go with the crowd, they call you a traitor. And once you are labelled a traitor in Heroes Acre or at a function like that, you'll be beaten up and they will deal with you. Maybe by the time the police come, you'll be a finished person.
Lately, Robert Mugabe has introduced a new method of crowd control. Zimbabweans are being corralled into camps, like this one. Jay Jay has taken a huge gamble to film here.
This is a new camp, which is called the Hopley Farm. It is said that they've got only one meal a day, at exactly 3 o'clock. It seems as if they're in a remand prison.
This camp near Harare was built to hide people from international media attention. Jay Jay describes it as a concentration camp.
Inside the camps, there's fear in the faces of the people. They are even scared to talk to their own brothers. Fear has been instilled into these people and they are helpless.
Sanitation here is appalling, and the people are at serious risk of disease.
People don't even have clean drinking water. They're actually sharing that water with animals. There's domestic animals like cattle, and they all come to the same dam. That's where they bath, that's where they do their laundry. It's pathetic.
People living here are not allowed to leave, and they claim they're being starved.
But so far, but I have about 3 weeks. Tisangasa, Tango Gaitavan, which Bona Kautuni, the Chiapana. That one's once the Kurungo Kawa.
At the heart of Zimbabwe's problem is its drift towards economic collapse. And that's something that Robert Mugabe seems incapable of controlling.
You can see the queue is stretching for almost 500 meters up to now. I don't know how much it will stretch.
There's almost no foreign currency in the country. Foreign investment has collapsed. Exports are in decline. As JJ's images show, Zimbabwe is simply grinding to a halt.
For how long have you been in this petrol queue?
I got 4 days on the queue, no petrol. We are stranded with, this is a business car, because without petrol there is no business.
Across Zimbabwe, people spend their days queuing for food.
With the serious shortage of basic commodities in Zimbabwe due to the economic meltdown, organizations like OK Supermarkets have got nothing in stock.
Drought, the seizure of productive white farms by the government and the lack of foreign currency mean food can't be grown and it can't be bought. The people have become desperate.
We see a whole lot of people in a queue there, and let's try and find out why these people are in the queue.
Takaranda kwaina 7 ezuru. Manheru.
Ngori murai nazvo.
Tingo takarara kuti haraswa nemapurisa vakati harasa akati kwatura.
These policemen are keeping a watchful eye.
In today's Zimbabwe, the police and the military get priority.
And there is a policeman carrying a bag. He has never been into the queue, but he's got a bag, as reported by some members of the people who were in the queue. They say it is the police who get first priority and the soldiers.
Jay Jay takes great risks to film undercover. Some days it's just luck that stands between him and a prison cell.
As you can see, this is where there's top bread and there's nothing, absolutely nothing. So it's being distributed directly from the bakery and they are limiting to a loaf a person.
After all, this is the story the Zimbabwean government doesn't want you to see. And seconds after filming this, Jay Jay's luck runs out. Arrested at the supermarket, he's taken to the police station and interrogated. Back in the centre of Harare, the cricket continues in splendid isolation.
Hi, how you doing?
And I get word of Jay Jay's arrest.
Okay, so
despite numerous calls, there's nothing I can do to help him.
Apparently they caught him filming in a supermarket. I don't know what he was doing there.
After a few tense hours, Jay Jay talked his way free. The police demanded his tapes and camera, but luckily he passed them to a friend.
They searched me, stripped me, I had to take off my clothes. It was so humiliating. They threatened to beat me up, to take me to the Central Intelligence Organization and so on. But I just remained cool and calm because I knew without any evidence there was no case. You always get your heart thumping because you don't know what's going to happen next, especially when you've got the camera out. If it's hidden somewhere, it's not a problem. But once you've got it out, then anything can happen.
It's time to journey back into exile. But before he leaves, Jay Jay risks just one more stop. Jay Jay has not seen his children in almost a year. Last time he came home, he was caught and tortured for being a political activist and had to flee. This time the torture will be leaving in the knowledge that he may never come back to see his babies, especially his 7-year-old daughter.
I really had a good experience with my kids. It was nice meeting them again. The attachment was very easy. A few hours with them, they caught up and they knew this is dead. They would mingle around me with their bicycles. When I was leaving, it's sad. She cried and she really wanted to come with me. She keeps on saying, Dad, why don't we just go and stay together in South Africa?
As Jay Jay begins his final journey out of Zimbabwe, I start to make my own way south to meet him at the border. I've been able to do some clandestine filming as well, and along the way I make one final stop in Zimbabwe's second city of Bulawayo to secretly interview families relocated by the upheaval.
I don't have money to do a house for my baby.
Tsitsi has been moved a number of times since her home was demolished. Now pregnant and hungry, she sleeps here with her children and the crawling bugs.
They're all over you when you sleep, eh?
Yeah, I don't sleep.
And the plight of those like her is being deliberately hidden by a government determined to keep the media out. JJ and I are now reaching the end of our parallel journeys. JJ gets back after crossing a crocodile-infested river emerging from the gloom into South Africa.
It was very tough to live, definitely. It was hard. I mean, home is always best. Despite the sadness in my country, I still love it.
And he's realistic enough to know that he may never be able to return.
And I've already received an anonymous phone call which simply said to me, JJ, don't ever come back to this country until it's suitable for you to come back. So at the moment, I would never dare go back to Zimbabwe.
Hey!
Zoe! You're back in one piece.
Did you see?
It's hard.
It's tough, eh?
Yeah, and it's stressful.
Very stressful.
It's back in my heart.
But at least we've been able to escape the madness of Robert Mugabe's regime. For the ordinary Zimbabweans we leave behind, there's a stark choice. Exile if they leave, or if they stay, the prospect of starvation as they watch their homes reduced to rubble.